Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is my weekly show where a guest and I play some movie roulette and pick a random film from my enormous, obnoxious movie watch list. And it could be basically anything. And joining me is frequent guest Bubbawheat. Thank you so much for coming on.
Always a pleasure.
And we are going to be talking about Kitbull, which is an animated short film from Disney. Now, a little bit of background. What's most interesting about this film is this had like four different kinds of releases. So this originally was released in some theaters back in January 18th, 2019. It was released on YouTube February 18th, 2019. It was re-released on Disney Plus as a part of their programming through Pixar on November 12th, 2019. And when Disney and Pixar decided to re-release some of their COVID era straight to Disney Plus films in theaters, they added short films in front of them. So this was actually paired with Turning Red for its re-release February 9th, 2024. So this movie's got around a little bit for sure. This was created
Yeah,
by
and this
Rosanna.
was this was part of their Spark Shorts project.
Yes.
That's what they kind of called that short film program. That's I think was I'm not sure if it was just Pixar, or if it was like some Pixar, some Disney, or but yeah, it was a series of short film projects.
Absolutely. And this one, yes, this was the third film released through Pixar's Spark Shorts program, produced by Pixar from creator Rosanna Sullivan. This stemmed from Sullivan's love of cat videos. So apparently that was drumming up some of the ideas for this, and this was indeed nominated for Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film. So, and that's how it got on my list. And to give a little bit of a synopsis here. So this basically is you got a kitten, you got a pit bull, and they're kind of like stuck in a yard together. This film is not particularly complex in terms of the narrative that it's having, but going to make you feel some feelings, especially if you love animals and have pets. But I guess, Bubba Wee, what were your general thoughts on Bull?
I thought it was it's very cute. This actually wasn't the first time that I watched it. I was trying
Mhm.
to remember because for a period of I think like 3 or 4 years, I actually I'm a part of the LAM, the Large Association of Movie Blogs. I want to say podcast because I feel like the blogging community has transformed into the podcasting community
Mhm.
over the past 10 years. But yeah, the large association of movie blogs, and they for several years they did an Oscar feature where they would have reach out to members to do articles on all the Best Picture nominees and all of the kind of nominated categories. And so for a series of years, I volunteered and I wrote about the Oscar nominated short films.
Okay.
And I don't remember if this was during that period or if it was afterwards. Um, but yeah, so I love short films, and so I either saw it as from doing that, or I think possibly just because getting Disney Plus and looking at various short films, I think maybe I saw it whenever it popped up, and just decided to watch it. It's very cute, it's very emotional.
Mhm.
Looking back on it, even though I haven't seen uh, this other film, it reminds me of what I've heard about Flow, the recent animated
Mhm.
film, because there is no dialogue either, which is, you know, not uncommon in short films and animated short films as well. But yeah, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it both times that I watched it. It was nice revisiting it.
Absolutely. It has a specific type of look in terms of the animation, and I think it does a great job of giving it personality. In terms of creating these two critters, the little cat, little kitten, and this pit bull. And you don't have to do a whole lot to evoke emotion from a story like this for sure. And they just do such a good job of setting up this little kitten being afraid, um, running away from somebody trying to give the kitten food, and then you just find that this kitten's in this yard, this garage heap, and you find this pit bull. And you could tell like the kitten right off the bat's pretty scared of this dog. And
Mhm.
but they start getting playful with like the little bottle cap and stuff like that. And honestly, one of the cutest things is watching animals play around. I have three cats, and anytime you actually like see them like playing around with a toy, it's just like, oh, they're having fun. Um, and that's like, oh, you get that melting moment, and then you get that unfortunate moment where like the cat gets stuck in the plastic, and you're like, nothing better happened to this cat. And the pit bull helps out, and while you have like that little moment where the cat accidentally, scratches the dog, when she gets scared, and you have that moment of like the dog's afraid, the cat's freaked out, and you have that moment where it's like, which my wife wound up watching this with me, and she just started bawling her eyes out at the end, where this woman just finds them and gives them a home and adopts them, and that final shot is just so heartwarming of just
Yeah,
seeing them
and they
together.
and again, we uh, spoiler alert, I guess, we're recording this right after Shane did a guest spot on my show where we talked about the first scene of Happy Death Day, and that uh, episode I talked a lot about the efficiency of that scene in that movie, and this is also, I mean, practically all short films have to be efficient, just by
Yes.
definition, but this short does very efficiently tell a lot of backstory. Like it implies a lot of backstory and is able to tell a lot with very little. Just the fact that the pit bull is chained up with a big heavy chain at the
Yeah.
beginning really tells you something about the owner, that this is not an owner that really cares about the pit bull as a pet. And then of course the pit bull gets thrown out later with a bunch of scratches, which clearly implies that he was just being used for dog fighting. And that's the kind of situation when the pit bull is going to rescue the cat. So the pit bull is already like in a very low state with a bunch of scratches, and then
Hmm.
he's trying to be nice to the kitten, and then the kitten gets scared and scratches him on his nose, just adding to this already covered in scratches and injuries pit bull. And then they develop this friendship, and also like enable in just like 7 or 8 minutes or less, because I know it was listed at 9 minutes, but sometimes on Disney Plus that includes it's like five
Five
5 minutes
five
of
minutes of
all the
credits.
yeah. um but this in just a few minutes, the kitten itself goes on a character arc to where, like you mentioned, the cat was initially scared of the stranger that was trying to give it food and call to it. And then over the course of the short film, he's able to overcome the fear and befriend this pit bull. And then because of that interaction, that's able to allow the kitten to befriend the human, and at the
Hmm.
end, with with much better results. Well, I mean,
And
with good results on both sides, befriending the pit bull and befriending the human at the end.
I know my wife's immediately like, yeah, I would have been that woman who just brought these two random animals home, and husband's just like, okay. Like, because my wife is the kind of person like I'm like, we have a maximum of three non-human life forms in this house. We have reached maximum. And like I love our cats. I also sometimes hate our cats because cats are generally like super adorable, then also little demons at the same time, and also
Yeah.
like a little bit evil. Uh, but that
Yes,
just be
there is a reason that we have one cat, and I name and like our cat's name is Paz, which is short for Pazuzu.
yep, that's about right. And like I think this film is so sweet too because just the connotation around pit bulls, and a lot of people just think they're violent, mean dogs. It's just like, no, people do that to them. And like obviously this poor dog was being abused and taken advantage of, and it's just such a beautiful moment at the end where it's just like they found a family that's going to really care for them. And
Yeah.
so just trigger warning for anybody who gets really emotional about animal stuff. Like this this 8 minutes is gonna hit you. It's definitely gonna hit you. You're gonna have some feelings for sure.
Yes, very much so. It really hits that emotional trigger, and in a very you know powerful, surprisingly powerful for a short film.
Absolutely. Yes, but wait, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so. It's fun. It's short. It's sweet. It's emotional. It's very well done. I really enjoyed it.
It's a beautiful little film, and you can check it out right now on Disney Plus. But thank you so much for coming on and chatting movies with me.
Absolutely.
And thank all of you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What's your favorite Disney short or Pixar short that you love going back to? I always loved Jerry's Game when I was a kid. That little chess match between the old man and himself. That was a fun one for sure. Pretty sure that was before Bug's Life, and which is why I watched it all the time because I watched a Bug's Life a lot as a child. And make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPN Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding. And there's plenty of great shows with all different types of interests, especially if you love movies. There's a lot of that. But if you want to join the crew as a guest on a show like this, or if you want to start your own podcast, reach out to us on our website. And if you like our logo, check out High Flyer Creative for all their digital marketing needs. But most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.